since. 35 surgeries left her eating through tubes. Her time was running out. And after 3 false alarms, she got the life-saving call she's been waiting decades for. The incredible moment ahead.
A roller coaster year for one local woman whose life has been in the balance, in need of a rare organ transplant, ready to travel at a moment's notice for her life-saving treatment.
Fox 29's Joyce Evans shows us what happened when she got the call that she has been waiting for.
Finally, here comes a helicopter into the hospital.
The nervous hands behind the phone camera belong to Karlene Novotny.
And my mind's just racing. You know, my heartbeat is going like crazy. I'm freezing, my hands are shaking.
He had just a couple of hours earlier comforted his wife, Karlene, possibly for the last time.
And they walk around the back, open the door, and out comes this blue cooler.
She and a world-renowned medical team at MedStar Georgetown Hospital stood ready to perform a rare and risky organ transplant.
That's what was in the cooler.
It had been about a year since we told you how time was running out on Karlene, who needed all of her intestines replaced after decades and 35 surgeries left her eating and discarding.
That's what they call the ileostomy bag.
Through tubes and bags.
There is an end to this nightmare.
There are a lot of things that have to kind of line up.
In perfect order for surgeon Cal Matsumoto. 3 times, the Novotnys got the call at their home in Spring City, PA. Prepped at MedStar Georgetown in D.C., but it wasn't to be.
That cooler arrived and I thought, well, okay, here we go. You know, said a quick prayer that everything was going to be good.
It took 11 hours. It was challenging.
Her remaining bowel that she had was very diseased. He had to remove that. And she had a really low stump of her rectum. And so we transplanted a full small bowel as well as a large bowel, a colon.
All new plumbing.
So all the white is her new bowels. This was probably about a month afterwards. We were just checking to see if there's any abnormalities in her abdomen, and it looks pretty good.
Good enough for Karlene to be released in time to spend Christmas with her precious granddaughter, Ava.
I miss her. Words can't even be put to it, how much I miss her. That is priceless.
An infection interrupted their New Year's celebration and landed Karlene back in the hospital for a few days. We caught up with her at a follow-up visit, waiting for Dr. Matsumoto and eating.
They tasted like heaven.
Okay, so why is this such a big deal?
Because I haven't really eaten food for 12 years.
Tasting and absorbing calories and nutrients slowly.
It's wonderful.
At least the IV and feeding bag are gone. But the last connection for flowing out is still about 8 weeks away.
You're eating, you're off TPN, you're doing very well. So far, you're right on track.
That's a good thing.
No sign of rejection or other really bad complications. Still,
We have to always be very cautious.
Okay, so it is low, but not low enough to be admitted.
her blood requires a boost after that infection.
They're infusing a really high-powered medication. It's done every 2 weeks to keep rejection away.
It takes several hours.
Okay.
Steven's engineering job allows him to work from here while they have to live in town close to the hospital for a little while longer.
And I go every week, GI now.
He's been documenting Karlene's journey.
The only thing that I can remember is hanging on to Steve and telling him, I'm gonna be okay.
She still can't look at the pictures yet.
All I do is cry, and I cry because I'm sad for the donor.
She says the gift of life came to her from a young, athletic woman, leaving behind a career and family.
And it's because of the donor I have tomorrow. I didn't have tomorrow before that donor, and I do today.
She had some family down in Texas, so I would love the opportunity to just talk to him and give him a big hug, and you know, I don't know what I'll say.
Back at their D.C. apartment, Karlene prepares dinner.
Something to eat.
Anything low fat, low sodium, low fiber. taking it all lightly.
I actually feel like I've got something in there, and it's exciting.
So what are we doing now?
We're hooking up an antibiotic.
One of 3 antibiotics.
Karlene's meds are many, some costing thousands of dollars a month, plus their D.C. apartment rent and more. Not all covered by insurance. They're getting help from friends and neighbors back home, and the nonprofit Help Hope Live.
We had the attitude, we'll deal with it somehow, some way.
And I'm not stopping, because there's a long way to go ahead of me.
After all, she's planning a 5K run with Ava in a year.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for allowing us to share our story.
Joyce Evans, Fox 29 News.
Of course, Joyce has been on this story and on that journey for a while with them.
It's a great story. Wow. All right, Howard's here with what's coming up.